suspense, suspense, slide, slide, electoral, electoral, defeat, defeat, leftist, leftist, alliance, alliance, reformist, reformist, uphill, uphill, hardliner, hardliner. There's not much suspense in national elections in the UK and France, though each nation looks headed for a significant shift. The latest polls show Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's Conservatives still sliding, headed for their worst electoral defeat in a century. Unlike Sunak, French President Emmanuel Macron won't lose his job, or at least he says he won't step down, but the far right, under Marine Le Pen, and a leftist alliance are leading the polls, with voting on June 30th and July 7th. Results from Friday's presidential vote in Iran are expected this weekend, with a lone reformist candidate, former Health Minister Masoud Pezeshkian, leading the polls but facing an uphill battle for office in a field of hardliners. Rally, rally, moral, moral, bearing, bearing, take on, concede, concede, double down, double down. Joe Biden acknowledged his poor performance in America's first presidential debate. He told supporters at a rally in North Carolina that he no longer debates like he used to, but insisted he had the experience and moral bearings to take on Donald Trump. Democrats appear divided on whether the president should give way to an alternative candidate. Some conceded that the party had some decisions to make, as one congressman put it, while prominent lawmakers such as Nancy Pelosi doubled down on their support. Mr. Biden's aides said he would still debate Mr. Trump in a second planned debate in September. Ballot, ballot, stamp out, stamp out, chatter, chatter, immunity, immunity, grant, grant, prosecution, prosecution, precedent, precedent, undermine, undermine. Democrats are considering formally nominating Joe Biden as early as mid-July to ensure he is on the presidential ballots, while also stamping out intra-party chatter on whether he should be replaced following last week's rough debate performance. The criminal trial over Donald Trump's attempt to overturn the 2020 election, meanwhile, could be delayed for a year or more following the Supreme Court's ruling that presidents have some immunity in their official acts. Biden denounced the Supreme Court's decision to grant convicted felon Trump broad immunity from prosecution, warning that it sets up dangerous precedent and undermines the rule of law. Devastating, devastating, cognitive, cognitive, impairment, impairment, outweigh, outweigh, arthritis, arthritis, infusion, infusion, makeshift, makeshift, stampede, stampede, suffocation, suffocation. FDA approves Eli Lilly Alzheimer's drug after months of delay. The agency determined that the potential of slowing the devastating disease in patients with mild cognitive impairment outweigh the risks of brain bleeds. With the arrival of Lilly's Kisunla, Alzheimer's care could become more like treatment of cancer and rheumatoid arthritis and their regular infusions. Thousands of people at a religious gathering in India rushed to leave a makeshift tent, setting off a stampede Tuesday that killed more than 100 and left scores injured, officials said. Local news reports cited authorities who said heat and suffocation in the tent could have been a factor.